For decades, the British royal family has maintained a carefully curated image, one of poise, duty, and unshakable unity. But beneath the gilded veneer, tensions simmered. When Prince Harry stepped back from royal duties in 2020, it marked more than a personal departure. It signaled the beginning of a profound unraveling. With his memoir Spare, interviews, and documentaries, he pulled back the palace curtain, revealing wounds thought long healed. Among the most startling claims? That Camilla, now Queen Consort, was no passive figure in the shadows, but a master strategist who traded private stories to shape her public image. She was the villain, Harry declared, the third person in the marriage, echoing his mother's words. There were three of us. He recast history, not as a tragedy of fate, but as a carefully orchestrated drama. For years, Camilla had rebuilt her image, from mistress to monarch's wife, from tabloid target to charitable figurehead. But Harry's revelations cracked that new facade. The backlash was swift and silent. Camilla's engagements thinned, her once prominent place at events diminished, and within palace walls, a quiet recalibration had begun. No statements were made, no titles removed, just vanishing footprints. In royalty, power rarely disappears with a bang. It fades in silence. Observers noted the subtle signs first: fewer photographs, changed seating arrangements, events where Camilla was once central now led by others, Princess Anne, the Prince and Princess of Wales, even junior royals. Appointments became private obligations. Media invitations were withdrawn. Where her presence once brought poise, her absence began to speak louder, and Buckingham Palace remained tight-lipped. But seasoned watchers knew this was no coincidence. It was a strategic retreat. Even within the palace, corridors once buzzing with her activity now stood still. Footsteps fell silent. Her signature presence, smiling, steady, grew faint. Inside royal protocol, this is a language in itself. A queen consort is never dismissed outright. Instead, the influence is quietly redistributed, and the institution moves on. Was this a punishment for past sins, or a reshuffling in response to rising internal pressures? Perhaps both. And then came the reckoning. At Windsor Castle, no cameras, no press, an extraordinary private meeting unfolded. King Charles, Queen Camilla, and Prince Harry. According to insiders, Harry brought with him more than words. He carried documentation, audio recordings, text messages, supporting claims that Camilla had made disparaging remarks about Meghan Markle and even the late Queen. The confrontation was civil, but chilling. Camilla, blindsided, reportedly lashed out. Voices were raised, accusations flew, and then in a moment of icy finality, she turned to Harry and said, "Your mother isn't returning. Let it rest." Silence followed, the kind that marks not the end of an argument, but the fracture of a family. No apology was offered, no resolution reached. But after that day, Camilla's role shifted unmistakably. Staff reassignments, portraits moved. Her name faded from official programs. It wasn't expulsion, it was elegant erasure. A queen, diminished without decree. As Camilla receded, a new chapter opened, focused on the future of the monarchy. Prince William and Princess Catherine, symbols of modern stability, stepped further into the limelight. Their appearances grew frequent. Their causes, mental health, early childhood, veterans, became the crown's new image. Cameras followed them closely. PR teams shifted energy toward them. The royal narrative was being rewritten, this time with youth, duty, and uncontroversial grace. Camilla, still titled Queen Consort, remained in the background. Her photo ops became brief. Her statements, if issued, were ghostwritten. This was no scandal in the traditional sense. It was succession, carefully managed, deeply symbolic. The monarchy had chosen to evolve, and she was no longer its center. Within the palace, even the smallest gesture matters. Camilla's name removed from internal directories, courtiers reassigned, signature stationery redesigned, royal salons redecorated with new portraits, hers replaced or relocated. One birthday event, Prince George's private celebration was especially telling. Camilla, always present before, was absent. The reason? Scheduling conflicts, said the palace. But no one bought the excuse. She had not been dismissed. Yet clearly she was no longer being invited. And then, Princess Kate. During King Charles's coronation, the world watched. But in one precise moment, Kate didn't bow to Camilla. Instead, a subtle nod. It was a silent but seismic gesture. In royal tradition, bows and curtsies are more than etiquette. They are allegiance. That Kate chose not to bow spoke volumes. Was it personal, political, a call for a new monarchy? Whatever the motive, the message was clear. The younger generation had begun shaping the monarchy, and they weren't looking to Camilla for guidance. As the noise faded, the public began asking deeper questions. Was Camilla ever truly accepted? For years, her identity was shaped by scandal. Her role in Charles and Diana's breakdown, her portrayal in shows like The Crown, her media rehabilitation. Despite her charity work, literacy efforts, domestic violence awareness, her reputation never fully outran her past. Harry's memoir reignited it all, and in the court of public opinion, memory is both sharp and unforgiving. In the vacuum of transparency, speculation ruled. Some called it justice, others called it strategic abandonment. But what remained undeniable was that her influence had vanished, not through disgrace, but through design. So where does this leave Queen Camilla? Her portrait still hangs. Her title endures on parchment, but her voice is no longer central to the institution. She is present, but peripheral. For King Charles, it's a painful paradox, balancing loyalty to a lifelong partner with the demands of a modern monarchy. For Prince Harry, the revelations marked a permanent fracture, and perhaps a personal victory. For the monarchy itself, this was a necessary evolution, a quiet distancing to preserve a public image. But for Queen Camilla, this isn't exile. It's not disgrace. It is displacement. A woman who once clawed her way to acceptance now finds herself receding without protest. No interviews, no clarifications, only dignified silence. In the end, the institution didn't remove her. It moved beyond her. And sometimes, in royalty, the most powerful message is the one never spoken. The story of Queen Camilla is far from over. Is she a misunderstood consort finally facing the consequences of a complicated past? Or is she merely a symbol, one sacrifice for the monarchy's reinvention? Let us know what you think in the comments. Was Harry justified? Has the crown handled this with grace or manipulation? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth documentaries on royal affairs, global controversies, and the people behind the headlines. And if you're curious about the next generation of royals, Princess Kate, Prince George, and the future of the crown, click the video on your screen now, because in the world of royalty, silence speaks louder than 1,000 proclamations.
Subscribe for more interesting videos and hit the like button.